to those participants that are in the live call. Amanda, getting in, welcome everyone. So guys, just a quick introduction as well for the people that are watching this on the delay telecast as well. If you do want to get the live call, which we do every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. GMT +8, just make sure to click the link and visit lcms.com.sg. And would be great to have more people in the club that are looking to learn more about Forex. So it's episode 416 and it's the 10th of November. And the currencies we analyze are as follows. So on Monday, we do the Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesday, the Euro. Wednesday, today, we're doing the pound pairs. Thursday, yen and gold. And then on Friday, we do CAD and cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum. And in the currency call, you will get the market economic updates, the key support and resistance levels, trade ideas, and of course, much more. And this currency call will be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and also the short-term traders. And we will discuss here what could move prices, the possible trade ideas, and we'll also highlight the potential targets and risks in regards to where stop losses could be placed and take profits could be also placed as well. A disclaimer as well, any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering in any trades as well. And make sure you use the resources available if you are a LCMS Traders Club member as well, and ask questions if you do have any points of concern. We do have a lot of activity later in the evening as well in the US session. So if you are from over there, or if you are someone that wants to trade the US session, we do have people in the group that do actively trade. If you're more of a morning person, I'm in the morning as well. And we also have everyone else pretty much the rest of the day. So it's a 24-hour room, and we're quite active as well for the people that are looking to trade shorter term. If you are in that sort of field, we take care of that. And also the longer term stuff with Gim Hong as well. Now, just to get into today's episode, we've got the US dollar index here. That is the Aussie dollar. I did take a short on that. I did discuss that in the chat as well. Just for people that do get up a little bit early, I am up and around. So if you do prefer to trade, if you're on this similar time zone, I am around then as well. But for the US dollar, now I've got the 4-hour time frame up here just to get things going. This line in between the two zones where we've been stubbornly sort of holding around recently. Now, Monday and Tuesday, Jin and I were discussing before the call. It's been pretty snoozy. So there are trades to be taken, but what I would say is that it's for more experienced participants who are a little more flexible, because you might for one moment have an idea and then that quickly can quickly be flipped on its head, and you have to be quite flexible, and that comes with experience. So if you are ever unsure and you're like, oh, that was mentioned just before, now it's changed, that can happen. And if you are caught out, make sure you just close trades quickly. If you are uncertain, don't sort of hold and hope, because that's when things can get a bit difficult. And the reason why I talk about this is that, I was short the USD yen yesterday, and it was looking like we were going to have some US dollar weakness, and it bounced. But then what can happen here is the worst situation, because you get caught up in the whipsaws where you sort of can go short and then it looks like it's going long. And when that happens, normally if I have one losing trade, I'll call it, and it is what it is. So we'll see what happens here. And I mentioned this in the morning market update we've got the CPI data coming out. We've mentioned this yesterday as well, and coming out at 9:30 this evening, GMT +8. And what we have seen is a little bit of anticipatory moves with the US dollar, like with the NFP that came out Friday night. And that's what I'm sort of leaning towards. I do have a short on the Aussie in regards to that, just a bit of skin in the game, just a small entry. And we did mention that on Monday as well. And that again has been quite dynamic with what the Aussie's been doing. The Kiwis finally showing a bit of weakness. M Leader mentioned that as well. And we've seen gold. So in regards to the US dollar, it hasn't moved a lot, but we've seen some of the other currencies already take control. So we do see a big print on the inflation. We could see the US index, back to well over 94. So this is just an early idea with what I've been doing this morning, but we still have a little bit to deal with. And then we also have with the inflation data, we have to see how that's interpreted with the markets as well. Like we had the PPI last night, and that really didn't see, frankly, it just wasn't enough to see the US dollar propelled higher. And it was just a lot of shorter term moves that were captured. And when it is like this, I would say just be cautious as well. And we do have, again, we've got the various chats in place as well, guys, in the LCMS Traders Club. So if you are looking for ideas and you're a little bit confused about what's going on, make sure, you do ask questions, because we are, definitely here to help as well. And if things are all short term and you're someone that's not too comfortable, just sit out until we get a bit more clarity, because Gim mentioned yesterday as well that there isn't a lot of big news events compared with last week. So what that means is just that things are can be a little messy if direction is not well established. And we did see the equity market sell off a little bit last night as well. In the equity chat as well, I've posted some data that I get for the movements in the US as well, and also a lot of commodities. And we're seeing the commodity market cool off a bit. Iron ore is at fresh lows. So for anyone that is interested in the Australian market, iron ore is nearly at 500 yuan a ton, which is around 100 Aussie dollars. So that's very significant. So I do have a short thesis on the Aussie. In fact, I did put in a pretty large chunk into the Forex briefcase account for that reason, because if you are in US dollars, that in itself is a trade. So those are my thoughts with that. But I'm sort of getting off on a few tangents here. But long biased on the US dollar. It's just challenging when it's like this, but you've just got to be a little patient and just wait even a few hours before we could see it run up here. But be flexible just in case it prints and it's lower. That could really be quite interesting. So try to avoid holding full size into the release. That's it can work out really well, but usually it's very difficult to capture the profits as well. So be cautious. But those are my thoughts on the US dollar, guys. Now, we do have a little bit going on with the pound as well this week, and it is Wednesday. So we've got Jin here to discuss the pound as well. Gim Hong will be back. He's just preparing a few things for tomorrow's episode. So we've got Jin here to take us through the pound for today's session.
Special surprise coming from Gim Hong there. So let's all wait for that. Thanks for that, Scott. So yes, today we are looking at the pound dollar. There are a couple of news to be released, but before I get into the pound analysis, to all club members, make sure you turn up for the live trading session tonight. We are starting at 8 p.m. GMT plus 8. It will be a 2-hour session because we do have news to be released, I think at about 9:30. So just to show you the news schedule here, today being Wednesday, we do have the US CPI numbers to be released at 9:30. So what we'll do is we'll start at 8. We'll answer some questions about your trades, look at some trade reviews, set up, prepare the scenarios leading towards this CPI numbers to be released from the US, and then we can trade that scenario as well. So live trading session tonight, not just live trading. In addition to that, we'll be doing some questions and answers as well. So make sure you turn up for that. With that said, back to the pound dollar analysis on the Forex Trading Asia economic calendar here. Looking today, we had the Chinese CPI numbers released. We've seen some strength, slight strength there, year on year, 1.5%. Later tonight, we do have a MPC member speaking, not going to move prices too much. What I'm looking at for the US CPI number here month on month looking to move from a 0.4 to a 0.6%. I think that we will see it at 0.6, maybe even a little bit higher. The core CPI year on year tracking above that 4% at about 4.3. We might even see it at 4.5, but at this point now, the FOMC has come out and said that they're not too concerned about the way CPI or inflation is tracking. So they are aware of how it's moving. They're aware of it being above their current targets and projections. So anticipate to see that strong CPI number tonight. We might see that dollar strength come back into play during that news release. So with that, on Thursday afternoon, we do have the UK GDP numbers year on year looking to drop very significantly from a 23.6% last year to a 6.8% for year on year number at this point, and then the quarter on quarter from a 5.5 to a 1.5. We're looking at possibly some weakness in the pound dollar, in addition to how it's looking on the charts. I'll show you that shortly. And then on oh man. And then on Friday, we do have some news, but not big price movers, especially for the pound dollar. So what all of this means on the charts here is that looking at the pound dollar on the H4 time frame, I really like how it is moving in terms of a technical perspective. Technical perspective means the way it's moving on the charts. For this whole week, starting of the week, it's gone straight up, tested that 1.3584 level, set across, rejected that 1.3584 level, and sitting right across again. So what I'm anticipating now is that with the news to be released tonight, the US CPI numbers to be released tonight, we could see that dollar strength come back into play. Like Scott has been sharing with you, dollar index on the H4 time frame here looks like it might track back up towards that 94.53 level. So if we do see that come back in, we do see everything come back into play with the pound dollar, what I would be looking for in this case would be for it to reject 1.3584 to track towards 1.3365. So what you should be looking for is selling opportunities below. Look for the candle to close below 1.3541. You would have a 50 pip, 60 pip stop loss for a good 160 pip take profit level. That would be a maximum take profit level. What you could also be looking for is about 120 pips towards last week's low point. So you're still looking at at least 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the downside. In the best case scenario, you could be looking almost a 1:3 risk reward ratio towards the downside for the pound dollar. This is also given that we see it reject that 1.3584 level, given that we see a strong CPI number from the US, and also paired up with tomorrow's GDP number from the UK, looking at a relatively weak turn in terms of the GDP number. So that could push the pound dollar towards the next support level. While I'm looking at the pound dollar tracking lower, that also will play back into the euro pound analysis that I was sharing with you yesterday, where we said that it was going to come test this 85.38 level, and it has been doing that. So looking at it to sit at this level, and if we do see the pound dollar drop that significantly, that 120, 160 pip move towards the downside, this could push the euro pound back up towards that 85.90 resistance level. So this analysis still stays as per what we were sharing yesterday, still looking for that trigger to look for that buying opportunity back up towards 85.90. And then a quick recap is we had Aussie dollar. It has broken, or it had broken that 73.95. If you haven't already, that sell trade is valid, looking to track towards 73.22. At this point, you would only have a 30 pip take profit. You would not be looking at this on the H4 time frame. You'll be looking at this on a smaller time frame. You could be looking at 20 pip stop loss, 30 pip take profit level, not a 1-to-2, but slightly positive, good positive risk reward ratio towards the downside. So a lot of opportunities here, looking at the pound dollar, the possible euro pound trade as well. And also, if you haven't already, the Aussie dollar has started moving towards that downside. With that, I'll pass it back to you, Scott.
Thanks for that, Jin. And I've just shared the trade idea as well, guys, in the LCMS Traders Club, just in the euro and pound discussion as well. And just make sure that you do just pay attention to the news releases as well, if you are around. And if you can, definitely catch the 2-hour live call tonight as well, starting, like Jin said, at 8 o'clock GMT +8. Can be very beneficial to see how, a live session can play out and how things are, executed, which is very important. But that is it. Now, I've also shared in the Aussie chat just a forecast here, just an institutional forecast on iron ore, just for anyone that is interested. We've got a few Australian members as well, but this is something that's a forward-looking forecast of iron ore and how things are going to slow down a little bit more with the price expectations as well. So that's something to pay attention to on the Aussie dollar as well. Not necessarily an immediate thing, but if you are someone that's, some people hold trades for months at a time. So if you are looking to take, a longer term trade on the Aussie, that's something to consider as well. But that is it, guys. No questions as well. I'm seeing got a few people in here as well, and chats have been nice and active as well. So make sure you take a bit of time, explore what's going on. We've got the equity chat. We've got Gim Hong's trade ideas, plenty to keep everyone busy. And if in doubt, just watch some educational videos. Don't simply just take a trade unless it's on a demo account. Please, no one take live account trades if you don't know what you're doing. But that is it, guys. And again, if anyone's interested, the managed account option with Forex Briefcase, we are taking investors on up around 1.8% so far in just over 2 weeks for the start of our trading month for October into November. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for joining us again, and see everyone tonight in the live trading call as well. Bye, guys.